Hello, everyone. This is Mr. Donati again. In today's lesson, we are going to look at hallucinogens and inhalants. So, we'll look first at hallucinogens, and this is kind of a wide group of drugs. Some of the hallucinogens that occur in nature have been around for a long, long time. In the 1960s, the United States basically had a drug revolution and basically, in particular, LSD became a popular drug at that time, which we'll look at here in a little bit. So, first of all, we want to look at what are hallucinogens. Just like narcotics, some hallucinogens are found in nature and some are synthetic. And again, the word synthetic means that they're man made with chemicals and so forth. Hallucinogens are drugs that alter moods, thoughts, and sense of perceptions, including vision, hearing, smelling, and touch. Basically, they cause you to experience things that are not there. These drugs overload the sensory controls in the brain. The brain then confuses and intensifies sensations and hallucinates. Um, I, for me, I've never used any of the drugs that we talk about in this particular drug unit, and so I was try to think of ways to understand it a little bit better. So with hallucinogens, I kind of refer back to Batman Begins, and in the movie, there's a villain named the Scarecrow, and basically what he does is he uses a basically a gas that causes people to hallucinate and see very terrible things. And so, if you want to get an idea, just kind of watch a little bit of that movie, and I think that will help you understand maybe what hallucinogens are. We want to look at what are the effects of hallucinogens. As mentioned in the first side, hallucinogens will affect our senses. Their effects typically begin within 20 to 90 minutes after ingestion and can last as long as 12 hours. What is critical to understand is hallucinogens like LSD can cause flashbacks. This is a reoccurrence from using hallucinogens from the past. This is referred to as hallucinogen persisting perception disorder, or HPPD. Bad trips are flashbacks of disturbing images. These flashbacks can occur months and even years after the drug use, and in some instances, it can only be from just using the drug one time. So again, if you can imagine, you're at school or you're doing something, and all of a sudden you have this terrifying experience because you used a drug earlier, it can result in maybe safety for you or people around. The different type of hallucinogens. We're going to look at synthetic hallucinogens first, and probably more importantly, LSD. LSD is the most well known and strongest hallucinogen. LSD is part of a group of drugs called psychedelics. The most common form is drops of LSD solution dried on gelatin sheets, pieces of blotting paper, or sugar cubes, which release the drug when swallowed. LSD is sometimes sold as liquid, in tablets, or in capsules. LSD is usually swallowed or dissolved underneath the tongue. LSD became popular in the 1960s. It was discovered by Albert Hoffman, who accidentally discovered LSD. He accidentally exposed himself to LSD and had hallucinations, and as a matter of fact, because of the experience, needed somebody to help him get home. The next one we want to look at is PCP. It was developed in the 1950s as an intravenous anesthetic, but its use for humans was discontinued because it caused patients to become agitated, delusional, and irrational. Today, individuals abuse PCP because the mind altering hallucinogenic effects it produces. Users snort PCP powder, swallow tablets and capsules, or smoke the drug. And the picture on the left basically is what it looks like. Now we want to turn our attention to hallucinogens that happen in nature. The first one is psilocybin. These come from certain types of mushrooms. They can have the same effect as LSD. The drug can trigger psychotic episodes. Individuals with family history of psychosis face an increased risk of adverse psychiatric reaction to psilocybin. Peyote, and a lot of people haven't really heard of this one, is a very small spineless cactus. As with LSD, some people may have a negative experience with peyote, also known as a bad trip. And a bad trip is basically hallucination or illusion of something that is very frightening to you. If you're afraid of spiders, you're arachnophobic, then seeing large spiders could be a result of using hallucinogens. We want to now look at inhalants. Inhalants are substances whose fumes are sniffed and inhaled to produce mind altering sensations. They can be found in many household products that are readily available. Most inhalants go immediately to the brain, causing brain damage and actually killing brain cells that will never be replaced. All inhalants are extremely dangerous, and many are labeled as poisons. These substances were never designed to be taken into the body, and they cause permanent nervous system and brain damage. Be leery of scent flavored objects. I feel they can lead to the habit of smelling things, whether good or bad. And so here's an example of some pens that have certain scents associated with them. Please resist the temptation to use these products in terms of smelling them. Once again, thank you for watching the show.